Yeah. Hey, this that special sauce. Spill that drip, I wipe it off. $1,000,000 worth of game. Can't feel that I work too hard. Poetry on any song. What's good? What's good? What's good? It is your boy, Dope Boy Diesel, back in the motherfucking Doja Room for another episode. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody had a good weekend, a great Valentine's Day. Since the last time I have recorded and dropped an episode for you guys, we have got the album Something Sexy, Some Sexy Songs for You by Drake and Party. And they've been doing their thing. And just, a quick reaction or review of the album. Personally, at first I didn't think that it had no skips. The only song that really had to grow on me was Meet Your Padre. But other than that, um that the album is amazing. Just a couple of quick, shout out songs are my favorites. CN Tower, of course. Spider-Man, Superman, Pimmy's Dilemma, crazy. Small Town Fame, another crazy one with that beat switch. Give Me a Hug, of course, which is, contending to top the charts. Nokia, of course, which is another big one, another standout track amongst the album. You got Somebody Loves Me is also a good one that I like a lot. When He's Gone is also another banger for me, and Greedy. I liked Glorious too. A lot of people didn't like that. I guess because of the Ice Spice. I thought it was an actual Ice Spice feature, but it wasn't an actual Ice Spice feature. It was just her talking in the background. It sounded like an interview, or it wasn't even really a feature. Just damn near more like B-roll. But as I save my reviews for separate content, and y'all will be able to check that out pretty soon. I wanted to get on here today and talk about some of the weird things that have been going on. Now, we got two articles, and I want to start with my personal article. Let's just pull this up first. We got to get things in order a little bit. Got to get things in order. All right, let's get right into it. Now, I'm posting articles on X now. If you are a avid listener of the Doja Room, if you fuck with me and you're a subscriber, you like the things that you hear here in the Doja Room, then please, by all means, join the conversation. Follow me on X. Get into the comment box on there too. I'm very, very much active on X. And as you can see, like I said, I'm going to be posting the articles there as well. So you can get a little head start on some of my thoughts and, more of an unbiased take. I try to keep a more unbiased take when it comes down to the articles and things like that. So if you want to get a more neutral take on things and stuff like that, it won't just be me posting, but it'll be on the page, where we'll be posting news and breaking news on X. So follow me there if you want to get some articles, if you want to just get basic updates or just hear my thoughts raw before the show. I'm always going off. So follow me there. And of course, subscribe to Firstborn Media. Like us, like the video, and let's get into it. So I did this article. So Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us faces botting allegations as fans call out DSPs. Let's get into it. I said the battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar continues, but this time the fight is taking place on wax. It's happening behind the scenes, the deep infrastructure of streaming services. New allegations have surfaced suggesting that Lamar's chart-topping hit "Not Like Us" has been the beneficiary of an artificial boost, with industry insiders and fans pointing fingers at Spotify for potential interference. Recent reports and viral posts on X have highlighted troubling discrepancies in how Not Like Us has been performing across platforms compared to other major releases, particularly Drake's latest project, Some Sexy Songs for You. The evidence suggests that systematic efforts to prop up Lamar's record while simultaneously suppressing Drake's new music are raising some concerns and questions about the transparency and ethics of Spotify's business practices. So, let's get into a little bit of the evidence. So, evidence of the industry interference mounts. The first major red flags emerge from Artist Tools, a platform that tracks Spotify playlist placements and streaming data. According to screenshots shared widely across social media, Not Like Us has been included in 105 botted playlists, indicating potential inorganic growth. While bot activity is a known issue within the streaming industry, the scale of these placements for Kendrick's record suggests something more than just standard industry inflation. Additionally, the platform shows that the song has accumulated over 1.1 billion streams, a staggering number considering its release timeline. While this level of success is not impossible, fans are questioning how an already massive successful record has continued to dominate in ways that feel off, especially when compared to Drake's latest effort. So I'm going to stop right there, let you guys go ahead and finish the rest of the article. You can find me here on Twitter. That's at DopeBoyDiesel, Drake and Five. Y'all can find me on Twitter. Now I want to hop into the next article and just get into some of the evidence that we had, and this is just some of the things that I brought up and kind of researched. Is you can see from the page here. um I mean, it's tracking Not Like Us on 105 botted playlists. This is data that was updated 19 hours ago, relevant to when this was posted. But as you can see, it's a pretty significant amount of plays coming from these botted playlists. And they post a screenshot of Drake's same song Nokia that was mentioned earlier by me, um that it has no botted playlist. So Drake, like I said, and I've mentioned this plenty of times here on the channel, Drake is fighting a battle. He is in a game where he's fighting with one hand tied behind his back. Okay, this is not this wasn't the most massive rollout. This wasn't the most crazy rollout, but you can see here that he is indeed fighting with one hand tied behind his back. And it continues on with more screenshots. It says, I'm not gonna lie, this is really suspicious because every time I open Spotify, somehow I'm playing Kendrick Lamar's song, even though I know for a fact I haven't played one. So it says, every time a playlist ends or my queue empties, Kendrick Lamar comes on. I don't even listen to Kendrick Lamar like that. This is Fugazi. And I can attest because I'm a heavy Spotify user. Now I'm not the best person to, run this test on, or, to validate these claims, but because I listened to both artists, and especially heavily during last year, I listened to both artists heavily. I also listened to GNX a couple of times. So I don't think that I would be the best person to validate these claims, just because of the simple fact that I listen to both artists. And I enjoy both artists' music, to be exact. So this is not a shot at either one. This is just calling facts how it is, calling a spade a spade. Um, there is some strange activity going on. We'll get into the lefty gunplay shit, but there is some strange activity going on. As you can see, this is more screenshots of the queue. And this may be just knowing how Spotify's algorithm works. Spotify does have a really, really good algorithm, and I can say with confidence that there are probably some bad actors mixed in here, as far as what's being reported, but I can't completely rule it out that, you know, the Kendrick Lamar's team is ramping up the bot activity, if this is something that they're actually paying for or not. Another big thing was how we have some people going to look up the Drake and Parties album. If you see here on your screen, when you typed in Drake at a certain time yesterday, you would get nothing coming up, as well as Party Next Door. You get nothing coming up from the new album. But see here, you even got him typing Party and Drake, Party Next Door and Drake. No album anywhere until, you know, reports started ramping up, and then, you know, Spotify went down briefly and came back up, and supposedly this issue was fixed. So as you can see, it was very, very hard to type in and search for the music now. And some people might say, well, why do you need help searching for an anticipated album that you already know came out, you know, blah blah blah, so on and so on? Why you know, why do you need that help in 2025? Like, get over it. This is not a big deal. And to them, I would say it's the same factor that we seen when it came down to Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. And what I said in the last episode, there are a lot of people who are not just entrenched in this media and stan wars and fan wars. They're not entrenched in all of these things. There's plenty of people who like Drake who probably haven't seen a single promotion for the album. And it's easy to not see these things. It's easy to miss these things in 2025, with so many people fighting for your attention. And as a music artist, not only are you fighting for people's attention against other music artists, you're fighting for that same attention with streamers, with, you know, the TV, people on television, with the radio. You're competing with so many various platforms and subsidies of those platforms, and sub creators of those platforms, that, you know, it's almost impossible for a person to see everything. So, you know, when a person goes in and searches Drake, or they search Party Next Door, it helps having that extra layer of visibility when it comes down to, you know, putting the music out there and getting your songs out there. The Spotify feature of, you know, recommending, you know, the new music, it pops up, you know, the first thing you see when you open the app. You know, usually when you listen to an artist a lot, or you follow a particular artist, their new drops are going to pop right up on that screen. Now it might not always pop up immediately or the first day, because you have so many drops and you have so many times you might open the app. But, you know, you will eventually get the notification to say, hey, check out this album. So I can't say that that's a particular, well, that particular feature is something that's used against Drake, or is, you know, being used against them. But this is kind of weird, seeing this in real time, with, you know, people just trying to figure out what's going on and why they can't search the album when they type in, you know, um when they type in and search the album, they get all of these different things, and it's so hard when a track is buried like that, or album is buried like that. It can be a little bit frustrating, right? Especially when you're typing in damn near half the album. I mean, it should be fairly easy, and most platforms and things like that are fairly easy to search through. What's the Dirt also posted a great article. Um, and I want to get into a bit of his article, because he went in a little bit more in depth, and spoke to a couple of people who are professionals in this field, or may work a little bit in the industry with these artists. So let's get to What's the Dirt. Shout out to What's the Dirt. Let's get into his article, and it says Kendrick's Not Like Us on 105 botted Spotify playlist. Why it proves nothing. Now he has a little bit of a different take on this. It says in the past few days, information has been circulating online from a website known as Artist Tools. So this website includes a feature that lets users search for a Spotify song by its URL to see if it's listed on a specific botted playlist. These playlists use bots instead of real listeners to artificially boost play counts. In the case of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, details shared on X revealed that the track appeared on 105 botted playlists. The website's tool also displays the names of the botted playlists themselves. See below for Not Like Us data. So the first botted playlist that included Not Like Us is called Rap Anthems 2025. You can see Rap Anthems 2025 right here. I'm not going to click on it, but it is a little link to the thing itself. It says, however, this playlist also includes several other extremely popular songs, including Fashion Killer, Still Dre, DMX. So it includes other popular songs. Mixed in with these popular songs are random tracks uh, by unknown artists, which appear to be entirely AI generated and likely fabricated by the entity behind the playlist. A clear indicator that these tracks are fake as their AI generated cover art, along with unusual artists and song titles. I personally investigated many of these tracks and listed and listened to them myself. Every single one was AI generated rather than real artists. The song below is a prime example of this. To get further clarification on how this all works, I spoke with Aaron Whittington, the creator of Artist Tools website. Aaron explained that these fake playlists always include popular songs to create the illusion of legitimacy, making them appear more authentic to both the listeners and to Spotify itself. Therefore, the 105 playlists that include Not Like Us are not evidence of manipulation by Kendrick Lamar, his label, or his team. These tracks are added to fake playlists solely to make them appear legitimate. However, while Kendrick Lamar had no control over this, he could still benefit slightly from the extra streams these playlists generate. However, artists like Kendrick Lamar have no control over their songs being added to these playlists. Just because a song appeared on a botted playlist, it does not mean that the artist or their team paid for any sort of manipulation. In fact, Drake's Give Me a Hug was released just days ago and is already being included in botted playlist, showing how this happens to major artists regardless of intent. In closing, this website provides a valuable tool for artists, allowing them to identify botted playlists that may include their music. However, there's no definitive way to determine whether an artist has paid for streaming manipulation. More often than not, artists are added to these playlists without their knowledge. So as you can see, What's the Dirt has a little bit of a different approach and take when it comes down to the 105 botted playlist. As far as I go with it, and DJ Academics pretty much had a little bit of the same take as far as the song being a major hit regardless, and people kind of taking it and running with it that the song is on these botted playlists. But I would argue, and you can see the followers that are on here on some of these playlists, but I would argue the 105 is not even, it doesn't even give a good idea of how much these playlists are running these streams up. I mean, if you look at this top top 50 in Nigeria. This is 41,000 followers on this. This one has another 30,000. This one a 25,000, 32,000 here, 17,000 right here, another 30,000 followers in the hip hop vault. So as a person who knows how to work these playlists and work them organically by talking to the people behind the playlist, them enjoying your music and then adding it to the playlist, being on a playlist with this many streams, with this many followers, can generate a massive amount of streams in just a couple of days. Just one of these playlists can have you at about, I'd say, 50,000, almost 100,000 streams. So you can only imagine with 100 of these streams and some of these going on. I have to disagree with What's the Dirt, with how this affects, and yeah, it might not have anything to do with Kendrick Lamar in particular, or I wouldn't say that it changes nothing though, or it means nothing or proves nothing. What it does prove is that these records are, and Luther included, these records are receiving a massive push with bots at that. Now, I wasn't one, and it's why this is the first time you really hear me going in on this topic, is because I never really indulged in the whole bot thing, but it's starting to become something that has been pretty prevalent on top of the suppression of Drake's music. Like I showed you, people going in and looking for the album and doing certain things. It's obvious that there is something going on. Even when after the Super Bowl, and this is just personal, run-ins that I've had and personal things that I've experienced, but even during the Super Bowl, Drake was trending at least number one or number two, trending during the Super Bowl. And at some point he completely disappeared off the charts. His name completely disappeared, and it was almost like his name was shadow banned, because throughout the rest of the week, even when Party and him dropped their album, it was very hard for his name in particular to trend. I realized even Drizzy was trending, but not Drake, which is strange because most people don't refer to Drake as Drizzy. They refer to him as Drake. So if anything, Drake would be trending higher than Drizzy. But it was just clear to me that there is some type of suppression and blackballing going on. We just don't know exactly how and the extent of it, which I'm sure that we will pretty much, we're soon to find out. I think this is something that we got to closely monitor and keep an eye on, and it's going to continue to be a conversation. Like I said, guys, the Super Bowl is over and things like that, but it doesn't seem like this Drake versus Kendrick thing is about to end anytime soon, as we go into the streaming wars and the streaming battles, and this whole thing with UNG supposedly saying that they want to humble Drake. If these are the tactics that they are using and doing subtly, it seems like they are trying to do exactly that. A lot of people are raising concern because for the first time, Drake is selling vinyls, seemingly bundles, quote unquote, and even dropping the price of his albums to combat this. But I would say maybe some of this has to do with Party Next Door, and his label. I don't necessarily think this might be Drake's label and uh, what Drake is doing. So I think it's it might behoove us to keep an eye on exactly who's putting together these bundles and approving these bundles and who will be benefiting off of it. Well, of course, Drake would benefit off of it just from the raw numbers and people listening. But this album was heavily pushed as one to buy physically too, as me being one of the physical buyers, one of the people who copped. Um, yeah, it was one that, you know, a lot of people bought physically. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes too, and how the projected numbers will be looking. We'll probably see how the projected numbers are looking by tomorrow or Wednesday, following up to Friday. But yeah, with all of that being said, to the Drake fans, this is strictly to the Drake fans. Now that we, you know, you conducted a little bit of business, look, the album is a great album. As I said in the beginning of the show, it usually takes me a little bit to warm up completely to a Drake album, but this project in particular, with me, I think having a clear expectation of what we're supposed to get and us receiving that, and me feeling like, you know, they completely hit the mark. um to all the people who would call me a stan and a dick rider, I was one of the people who heavily criticized Drake when For All the Dogs came out. And why did I criticize Drake particularly? Because I felt like he kind of bait and switched us. He kind of put out that he was releasing this album, and I heard For All the Dogs and said, "Oh, okay, this is For All the Dogs." He gave us a a masterful verse in the 8 a.m. in Charlotte. Um Coming off another masterful verse with Churchill Downs, and giving us a more, you know, vibey project, something for the vibes, you know, something a little bit more dumbed down with 21. But For All the Dogs was most definitely supposed to be For All the Dogs. I was expecting more rap, more lyrics, more hardcore gritty, because that was my expectations when I heard For All the Dogs. But this project in particular, when I heard Got Some Sexy Songs for You, I'm thinking, okay, all right, R&B album, some sexy songs for you. And I think Drake delivered on that theme. And I think it would behoove Drake to start sticking with these themes and going all in on these themes, and start making these experiences a little bit more grandiose and better. That can be one of my critiques. Start stepping up your themes and really dive full-fledged into these projects and the feel of them and the experience and, you know, the time of your life or the moment of your life that you're trying to encapsulate us in. I think he did it with the music in this project. It definitely gives off, you know, the Valentine sexy songs. I'm gonna listen to this with my bitch. I'm gonna listen. This is definitely gonna be the get ready with me's. You know, the bad bitches vibing. It gives that, and it hits the mark. It hits the theme, and it really resonates with everything that we thought it was going to be, and that's why it resonates so highly with me. So in my opinion, we have a project with no skips. It's a great project. And there's nothing that this whole botting debacle and, you know, the things going on with the streams that can really affect how I feel about this project, because at the end of the day, I feel like Drake and Party Next Door delivered a great project. We got to keep an eye and we got to keep note of the things that are going on around this time, because as we know, you know, the opposition likes to spin and rewrite history. But now that, guys, now that we have the evidence, we see what's going on, we know it's something fishy that's going on, let's just get back to enjoying this great project. Let's get back to having a great time with this music, having great experiences with this music. Get with your shorty, you know what I'm saying? find your new wedding song, a little something to walk out to. I don't vote, but I think Drake has delivered a little bit of everything and shown his versatility in this last album, or this latest album that he's given us. So get in the comment box, tell me what you guys think. I'm always happy and willing. It's not too many comments coming in right now, so I'm reading everything. So get in the comment box, holla at me if you want me to see what your opinion is on the matter. Please, if you reach this far in the video, give it a like and give us a subscribe if you fuck with the things that I'm saying here. Follow me on X once again. It's at Dope Boy Diesel. And obviously, that's where you can find your boy on all platforms, including Instagram at Dope Boy Diesel. And if you even want to go and support the music and other things like that, at Dope Boy Diesel on all platforms where you can find music. All right. We appreciate you guys for stepping into the Doja Room. It has been a pleasure. I'm going to be out doing more research, digging up more, and keeping an eye and ear to the streets to be able to report back to you guys and let you guys know what the hell is going on out here. Again, I'm your boy Dope Boy Diesel, and I'll be back soon when there's more to report. I'm out.
Yeah. Hey, this that special sauce. Spill that drip, I wipe it off. $1 million